Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen. Today for something completely different. This video is a bit experimental and it is partly here because I want to plug my concept of fortune cookie tarot and demonstrate it to you, and partly because I want to have some fun at New Year and also maybe, if it works, pass on a few messages to you. Here's the concept. I'm going to create 22 very short fortune cookie style tarot card readings, and you are at liberty to pick any one you want. I suggest either picking a number from 1 to 22 inclusive, or taking a major arcana deck and picking one, which will give you a number. Here, number 4. Think of it as putting your hand into a dish of fortune cookies and pulling one out. When you have got your number, fast forward to the part of this video where that particular fortune cookie is unwrapped, and that'll be your reading for the new year. It's a little bit of a personal tarot reading, but also it's a little bit of a fun and games kind of thing. You can take it as seriously as you want, and I do think there should be an element of play in tarot. Otherwise, things can get a bit serious, can't they? Okay. Here's fortune cookie number 1. Please give us fortune cookie tarot reading number 1. If you feel you are being observed, and maybe critically observed, just accept that this is not the time to push ahead like the King or Queen of Rods, but better just to sit it out. Reading number 2. If progress is your issue, give yourself permission to look at all those devils and neuroses inside. Let them come out to play, let go of them, and then go with the flow. Reading number 3. If you're uncertain of your way ahead, engage your intelligence to the full and don't hide yourself. Reading number 4. Okay. If you don't really feel able to be enthusiastic and dynamic, it's a question of accepting that your energy is limited for the time being and you will need collaborators, and you will need to make sure that you focus on one thing rather than having your attention distracted by multiple options. Reading number 5. If you are battling with feelings of poor me, get a grip, shoulder the responsibility, and you will find your way into your perfect situation. Reading number 6. If you feel tied down, like you can't get away and don't have enough freedom, here's the thing. Let off a little steam from time to time and remember to be generous, and generosity will come back to you. Reading number 7. If you're worried about your future, if you're worried about your life long term, okay. And if you want to be secure in society, it's not a matter of sacrificing yourself for the good of others, nor is it a matter of seducing others into being your friends, but it is a matter of showing up in society. It is a matter of being present and paying your dues, socially speaking. Reading number 8. If you want to get a project moving, it's not a good idea to go behind people's backs to sort out problems. Defend your position openly and publicly, and that'll get things moving. Reading number 9. If you're having difficulty in making the conquests in life you want to make, let your inspiration be the energetic warrior and progress without fear of defeat. Reading number 10. If your wish for this time is a new lease of life and a broadening of horizons, nevertheless, Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, make sure you're grounded and you have a strong reality principle, and think everything through, even if it feels like an enormous amount of mental pressure. Reading number 11. if you can't make that big life decision, get yourself into a safe kind of space to think about it. Surround yourself with friends and support, and the success will naturally follow. Reading number 12. If you have to have a difficult and painful conversation with someone at any stage, don't experience it as a burden. The solution lies in your hands. Reading number 13. Okay, you are over the worst of it. So now you can take life seriously and 1, 2, don't escape or hide away. Reading 14. If you're feeling cut off from your source of instinctual energy, remember that restrictions do not lead to happiness and can block your energy. Reading 15. leaving this as 2 cards here, I'm just going to say this. If you want to make money come to you, give some away. Reading 16. I'm going to leave that as a 2-card reading too. If you're feeling that life is no fun, get out of the house and have a look round. Reading 17. Sometimes good ideas come from restrictions. Okay. Reading 18. If you have the feeling that matters are out of control, try to balance fun and relaxation with seriousness. Reading 19. Your power lies in collaboration. Reading 20. If you're feeling on the receiving end of a bad situation, focus on happiness rather than fairness. Reading 21. Okay. If you feel like you've been on the receiving end of some sneaky business, exercise self-control, don't sulk, and when you do deal with it, don't come on too strong. Last reading, number 22. Okay. This is a bit cryptic, but I'm going to tell you what I see. If you are confused by too many options, remember that this testing time and this burden that you carry will be a source of energy in the future. So those are my 22 readings. If you have been watching this video through as, if you like, as a sort of tarot technique video, if you're interested in the way I read tarot, I'll just make a few observations there. And I'll tell you how it was for me. What's becoming increasingly clear to me is that the act of reading tarot cards is in a sense, the mental challenge of creating meaning or stories or messages out of random falls of cards. Now, you can be as philosophical as you like, or as spiritual as you like, or as existential as you like. It may be that there is no such thing as random. It may be that the universe is just so full of meaning that it is everywhere. Nevertheless, in my conscious mind, that's what I'm doing. And I found that as I went through that exercise, as I did 22 short readings, one after the other, it became easier. I became quite ruthless in my search for meaning in these cards. You might have noticed that I used the yin-yang rule, so that if the first two cards were both reversed, I reversed them, and cards 3 and 4 remained as they were. Because for me, the first 2 cards are the main cards of the reading, and cards 3 and 4 are the illuminating cards. I sometimes stopped at 2, I sometimes stopped at 3, I sometimes stopped at 4. I was purely doing this to maximize my feeling that I had the capability of creating a message from these cards. If I saw a message in 2, I stopped. If I saw a message in 3, I stopped. And if I didn't see a message in 3, I went on to 4. There was, in fact, in the course of that exercise, only one point where I became weary and I felt that I wasn't up to the task. It was a bit of a marathon. It's the first time I've ever done it like that. And you might have noticed, I think it was about question 20, I changed decks. And that was a bit of a sleight of hand. I put down a reading with Rider-Waite-Smith. I just felt my energy and my ability to read had kind of like run out. So I very quickly switched decks to the Aquarian and I carried on with that, and that slightly refreshed my tarot reading brain, and I was able to carry on seeing meanings and making connections to the end of the video. So I think that happened for a reason. It is a resource that you can have as well. Change decks if you need to. I found that I needed to work mainly with the RWS because I needed the cards to be absolutely crystal clear. I didn't want anything too fancy. I wanted them just to function as hieroglyphics, to function as an alphabet where I know exactly what each card means. So those were my 22 fortune cookie readings. I hope you picked one for yourself and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Robert Farah, this is Tea and Tara, and I'll be back next week with more of this stuff. Bye for now.